do me a favor. Like, follow, share, subscribe, do all the shit here. It's Burn It Down with Kim Brown every Tuesday and Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern. Subscribe to us if you could. We're trying to get to the good 5,500 subscribers, which would be so fucking tight. But I want to get a story. Shout out to the good Afra Sings. Afra sent this to me. She made sure that I saw this, and I deeply, deeply appreciate this, Afra, because this is coming straight out of the so-called free state of Maryland. Let's see, I don't even know where to start. So let me just start off with get the meat, okay? Governor Melonhead, also known or as Governor Cantaloupe Head, also known as Governor Potato Head. And see, I really reserve using Potato Head because Mr. Potato Head is beloved. is beloved amongst my childhood. This current governor of Maryland, who is the only black governor in America, not so beloved by me especially. However, Wes Moore has done something that is a something. Wes Moore made the announcement this week that he will be pardoning 175,000 Marylanders who have either marijuana convictions, possessions of, convicted of possession of marijuana and possession of drug paraphernalia. He said that he will pardon folks to the tune of 175,000 folks, which is a large, significant number. Now, let me tell you this. When I first initially saw this story, I thought that the headlines were reading, Governor Moore expunges 175,000 marijuana convictions. But then I think I saw some quick edits. There were some quick edits because, as we're going to get into a little bit later here in the segment, there is a very clear distinction in delineation between expungement and pardon. And to be clear, Governor Moore has pardoned people with marijuana convictions. He has also not freed anyone from jail who is currently serving a sentence connected to marijuana. Also should be noted. I want us to take a look at this press conference. And Will, if you could have the press conference up and put me down in the corner, right? So we're gonna watch this joint together as a family, okay? Now I've watched this shit, and we're not gonna watch the whole shit because it kind of devolved into like a shout out session. But Wesley, I want y'all to see Wesley here because Wesley is giving y'all Obama 2.0. Wesley is giving y'all he gonna be VP on somebody ticket in 2028. Shit, if the bench continues to be thin, if a scandal pops up with Gavin Newsom, fuck around and find out it might be Wes Moore on the top of that 2028 presidential Democratic ticket. But fuck this nigga. I cannot stand this motherfucker. I cannot stand him so bad. And as I watched this, I was actually kind of surprised that Wes even said a couple things like, this nigga's okay, nigga. I see the long game. I see what you're doing here, Wes. But this ain't really it, okay? Because this pardon is some weak sauce, and I'm gonna get into it, but we're gonna watch it. So go ahead, Will. Just run this joint and make sure I can talk over this shit. And let me tell you something. When Governor Moore steps in the room, it is standing ovation. Everybody is on their goddamn feet. like Obama's walking up in this bitch. That's what I'm saying. I do not like what is on the horizon as it pertains to Wes Moore. He is op, and not like op, like the kids say, op, like Gen X say, operative, nigga. not opposition. No, this nigga's an op. He's an operative, as in a plant. But whatever. Let me go ahead, Will. Run that. Wish I could bring.
That's the power to pardon.
Oh, no. Run that back. No, we got to get his entrance. This nigga walked in the room like The Rock.
If you're a business owner,
this nigga walked in the room like he was the Dwayne The Rock Johnson. I was like, nigga, sit down. There we go. Clap. Look at all the sycophants. Clap. Do you smell the bullshit that Wes Moore is cooking.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Thank you, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Please take a seat, everybody. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Good morning.
This ain't church,
I am
nigga.
humbled
Shut up.
to be with each and every one of you in this historic state house. As in this moment, we're prepared to make our own history together.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's something that we know is that things do not just happen. Things are made to happen.
Yes, nigga, like your campaign.
You all in this room,
like your governorship.
some pretty
Shit is made to
extraordinary things
happen.
happen.
Yes, correct.
The Maryland State Constitution vests the power to pardon in the office of the governor and the governor alone. This is a responsibility that I take very, very seriously. And that is why this morning, with deep pride and soberness, I will pardon
Soberness.
over 175,000 convictions
What about them crack cocaine convictions? Do them next. See, you see these Democrats doing too fucking much. Calm down. Calm down. He said pardon. Pardon. There's a big difference.
Thank you all. We need to stop that so I can get you to sign your pardon.
Giving y'all his best.
But I'll pardon these convictions. All convictions related to the possession of cannabis and cannabis paraphernalia. Maryland legalized cannabis by referendum. This administration has stood up what many believe to be one of the most equitable and efficient adult cannabis market rollouts of any state in the entire country. In March, we conducted our first adult use cannabis licensing round, and all 174 licenses were awarded exclusively to social equity applicants.
Will, do me a favor, hit pause real quick. So social equity applicants, you notice he didn't say black. You notice Governor Moore, the first black governor of Maryland, the only sitting black governor in America. He says social equity applicants. Nigga, that could be any fucking body. And it don't necessarily have to be black people. And trust me, the ownership numbers, as it breaks down via race in the state of Maryland, when it comes to dispensaries, even when it comes to grow operations, is infinitesimal, okay? Especially compared to the black population in the state of Maryland, which is nearly 30% roundabouts there. And disproportionate, especially when you compare to the amount of people who have endured and suffered marijuana convictions in the state of Maryland, which have overwhelmingly been black and brown. So let's note the bullshit, if we could, for a moment. Do you smell what I tell y'all? what the bullshit that Wes Moore is cooking? Because guess what? He's going to tote this as this is great for black people. You know, the state of Maryland is fucked over black people. Yes, nigga, we understand this. But just notice that I just wanted to point that out to y'all. The social equity recipients, nigga, that ain't black necessarily. Okay, that ain't necessarily black. Go ahead, Will. Thank you.
And to be clear, that's the first time that has happened in our nation's history.
Hold on. Pause it again. You see, gang, when the bar is literally in hell, when black and brown people have been shat upon and been disenfranchised and been oppressed and held back in such spectacular ways that even the incremental, I guess, progress going towards some sort of equity is lauded as the first time or the greatest time or the most time in history. Yes, because the bar is in hell. The bar is literally in hell. Yes. So anyway, again, do you smell? Okay, go ahead, Will.
And yet, we know that legalization does not turn back the clock on decades of harm that was caused by this war on drugs. Legalization does not erase the fact that nearly half of all drug arrests in Maryland during the early 2000s were for cannabis.
What about
It
before?
doesn't erase the fact that Black Marylanders were 3 times more likely to be arrested for cannabis than white Marylanders before legalization. It doesn't erase the fact that having a conviction on your record means a harder time with everything. Everything. From housing to employment to education.
If you're a man who makes at least 150 grand a year.
Sorry. we had a YouTube premium. Our bad. Hold on real quick. Before you resume, Will. This motherfucker, Wes Moore, talking about if you have a conviction, or if you have especially a cannabis or any kind of drug conviction, really, but specific, doesn't pertains here. If you have a cannabis conviction, it impedes your opportunities for housing, education, etc. So then why are you simply pardoning? How come you're not expunging people's records? We'll get into expunge versus pardon after Wes Moore finishes cooking his bullshit. Let's go.
Erase the fact that people who were arrested for cannabis 3 or 4 or 40 years ago still have those convictions on their records to this day. We cannot celebrate the benefits of legalization if we do not address the consequences of criminalization.
That's a cute line. He's going to run that in one of his campaign speeches for president.
So I want to be clear.
Watch what I tell you.
When it comes to cannabis, rolling out one of the best and most equitable legal markets in the country is incredibly important. But that rollout must go hand in hand with pardoning past conduct, and Maryland is going to lead by example.
Again, low-hanging fruit. This is very low-hanging fruit in the blue state.
This executive order is the most sweeping state-level pardon in any state in American history. That's right. And the action that we take together this morning is going to directly impact tens of thousands of Marylanders. So first, I will grant pardons to Marylanders who have been convicted for misdemeanor possession of cannabis. And second, I will grant full pardons to Marylanders who have been convicted of certain misdemeanor possession crimes of drug paraphernalia. So we aren't nibbling around the edges. A big step enacting the kinds of policies that can reverse the harm of the past and to help us to work together to build a brighter future. So now this is a big deal. This is a really big deal. And we could not have gotten here without the extraordinary partnership of our incredible lawmakers and leaders and advocates. I want to thank our remarkable Attorney General Anthony Brown.
Boo, boo, Anthony. Look at these see-through niggas. Look at these two motherfuckers. These two translucent ass. Look at Ear Doctor and Jared Ball instead of these see-through ass niggas. Get them niggas out of here. Thank you, Will. I'm sorry. Let me calm down. I'm being too much of myself. Let me relax. All right, so there go Governor Cantaloupe Head, Wes Moore, giving you his best Barack. He's giving you his best Barack. Do y'all niggas feel? He's giving you all of that. All right, now here's my issue with this. It sounds good, looks good. Actually, we'll throw up the ACLU statement if you could. ACLU of Maryland said, we applaud Governor Moore in these steps, howsomever. This does not, I'm paraphrasing here. You can go read the ACLU statement directly on ACLU Maryland. But .org, the tenor of the statement given by the ACLU here of Maryland is that even expunging these records, it does not do much to erase or offer some sort of recompense for those that have been the victims of the war on drugs. Maryland was notorious for running up in niggas' pockets looking for weed prior to decriminalization and medicinal approval, and now eventually we are here at full recreation and legalization in the state of Maryland. But back when Maryland was not recreational, or still was very much criminalizing marijuana possession, it was amongst the best in the country at doing so, and it was outstanding. The state of Maryland, that is, was outstanding for locking up Black people specifically for marijuana convictions. I thought it really hurt the state's heart. The state, the entity itself was hurt when it could not no longer lock up niggas for marijuana. And you heard Governor Moore in that press conference. It wasn't the legalization and decriminalization, all that shit did not happen because the motherfucking state legislature decided that this is no referendum. They put that shit to the voters. They put that shit to the people. Okay. It wasn't up to governors and delegates and state senators. Absolutely no. The people did that. So shout out to the people them that got marijuana legal here in the state of Maryland. But let me talk about expungement versus pardon, everybody. And I think this language is very important because a pardon, what it does, it either lessens the criminal penalty or eliminates the criminal penalty for someone that has been convicted of something, or for someone who might be convicted. We have seen in some random ass cases, someone will be preemptively pardoned before they've even gone to trial. Like, such a case happened somewhat recently in Northern Virginia. Long story short, there was a father who was at the Board of Education. Something happened. Long story short, Governor Youngkin preemptively pardoned him before his trial even began. So sometimes a pardon can come even before a conviction, but certainly after a conviction. But what a pardon does not do, it does not erase the conviction from one's record. An expungement would do that. An expungement is such. Now, most felonies cannot be expunged, but what Wes Moore is describing here, low-level misdemeanor possession and possession of cannabis drug paraphernalia. Why come why come we can't just expunge that? And again, I'm sorry, expungement means it no longer appears on your record. If it no longer appears up in background searches upon you, on background checks. And expungement makes it so that whatever crime you had been convicted of, it's almost like it never happened, right? So I am unclear here as to what Wes Moore's pardons are going to do or what they intend to do. Because again, if not my personally, grateful I managed to dip, die and not catch a fucking weed case in the state of Maryland. Shout out to me out this motherfucker. As much weed as I smoked between 1996 and motherfucking today, shit. Shout out to me out this bitch. I'm good. Anyway, but hold on. So if you had a marijuana conviction, it's still going to show up when someone does a background check on you. I assume when you apply for a job, have you ever been convicted of? I think you still have to reply in the affirmative that, yeah, I have. Let me say this real quick about expungement as just a PSA. And this goes out to everybody, but especially if you come from a marginalized group of folks that sometimes has difficulty obtaining employment. Even if you have a fucking misdemeanor, beloveds, I don't care what state or commonwealth you are in, kindly go to your courthouse and go get that shit took off your record. And I mean that. If you look locally where you are, I know in Baltimore City, I know there are some sort of legal aid or do-gooder lawyers that offer this work pro bono to help people get their records expunged. It's very important. I'll share something. When I was 19 or 18, 19, I caught two little dumb misdemeanors. Dumb, right? And when I went to court, the judge and the prosecutor, all them punk ass motherfuckers was like, okay, Ms. Brown, we'll put these on stat docket for 6 months, and you have to do community service, and you can't get in no more trouble. And as the upright citizen that I am, I completed what the court wanted me to do, no problem. And and naively, I believed them lying ass motherfuckers when they told me that if I did not get in trouble for 6 months and I did what I was supposed to do, that shit would be removed from my record. They lied. And but for a chance trip to the Howard County Courthouse with someone else for something else entirely. And I said, let me just ask. Then someone told me, just go ask. just go see if that shit is still on there. And the lady was like, yup, we still got you up here for this and this. I said, ain't this a bitch? Look at these lying fucking whites. Everybody lied. Judge lied, prosecutor. I said, look at the lying fucking whites. Lied again. And my dumb ass fell for it again. So anyway, I took the steps, paid a little bit of money, filled out the form, got my shit expunged. I'm crispy on background checks, beloved. You feel me? So I need y'all to get crispy on y'all background checks as well. I just wanted to say that. So I have questions about this pardon because it sounds great from Wes Moore. 175,000 marijuana convictions will be pardoned. I don't know if that equals to 175,000 Marylanders getting those pardons, because I would imagine lots of folks probably have multiple convictions for possession of marijuana, right? Possession of drug paraphernalia. Some people might have a few or several. So the number of people that will be impacted by this mass pardon, I wonder. But much like Joe Biden, when he did his federal pardon of federal marijuana convictions, again, there was limits to it, right? It is also not expungement. It also is definitely belated in at least 10 to 15 years, way overdue. Barack Obama could have descheduled or rescheduled cannabis in fucking 2016, 2015. He chose not to. We know Trump was never going to do that shit. Now Biden, here we are in big 2024 as there is an election year. But Joe Biden said, oh, you know what? I'm going to give some 6,000. By the way, the federal marijuana pardons that Joe Biden gave, I think the number was around 6,000. It was not very many people at all being impacted or affected by this. So again, these liberal Democrats are swinging at this very easy, low-hanging fruit. The states have long taken the lead on decriminalizing and outright legalizing marijuana. The federal government lags behind, and it is as it pertains to the state of Maryland, and what Wes Moore is doing. This is just another feather in his cap, right? Wes Moore is trying to give y'all like. Again, all I can say is Obama 2.0. Like, this is exactly what that is. This is giving me community. I was a community organizer. You know what I'm saying? It's Obama, right? Wes Moore, when he runs in 2028, he's going to run on this exactly. You know, when I was governor of Maryland, I took the initiative to pardon. And again, it sounds great. Materially, what does it actually do? Are those same roadblocks to education, to housing, to employment, are those same roadblocks still going to remain in place for these folks regardless of their pardon? And also, to be clear, I think that this should extend to felony convictions in the state of Maryland as well. Now, you guys know I've been smoking coming up on 30 years now, so I may not be able to fully remember. My blinds are open. I can look right outside. Look at that. But one of the things that I do remember in the state of Maryland, back from when we was deeply paranoid of being pulled over by the police, and God forbid they find a seed or a stem or a piece of blunt paper or a empty blunt wrapper or some fucking blunt guts, because we knew somebody was getting locked up. That's the kind of fascism that we lived under as young folks, right? Like, that's the shit that we was worried about. But I do believe a felony conviction in the state of Maryland in yesteryear was only possession up to an ounce or maybe 2 ounces. It wasn't a whole lot of reefers to get caught with to catch a felony. So again, I think this shit is weak sauce. And if there's any, good, credible, wonderful organizations that help to make this come to be, I'm not dissing your work, man. Good. I guess good. But at the same time, there's way this could have gone way further, and there still should be way further to go. But I doubt if Wes Moore will go any further, because there will be so much liberal praise being heaped upon this somewhat empty gesture of a pardon, as opposed to expungement, something that can tangibly help folks. Just chalk it up as to like another feather in Wes Moore's Obama 2.0 resume, and I am not impressed.